All right, so I was actually waiting for a group of people to get together for a writers' meeting, but I don't know. They haven't showed. They haven't responded, and I don't know if it's still going on. So, screw it. Let's do a video. Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This video was actually something that I was going to kind of wait and get my thoughts together, but I don't really see any point in waiting. I think I have enough information to share with those who haven't been pursuing this platform for voiceover as of yet. I should have enough information and enough experience to give you guys my thoughts and whether or not it is a truly viable and worth the effort platform. And of course, we're talking about Twitter. So this is something that had been approached to me and presented to me a long time ago, is Twitter as a voiceover platform. I think one of the times I had actually heard of someone genuinely using it, the majority of their career, the majority of the time, was actually CDawg VA. And after hearing him say, and I don't know how much voiceover he actually does. I don't know how productive his voiceover career is and how much of that work he would actually consider worth the effort. But due to the fact that I can't contact him to actually interview him or ask him about that, I decided to look into it myself. Yes, I have Twitter. I've had Twitter for a very long time, almost as long as the YouTube channel itself, because at the time it was like you had to have the Facebook page, the Twitter, and the YouTube channel, and they all had to go together. Nowadays, you could basically just exist with one or the other. They're all well-established platforms that exist within their own right and have their own uniqueness and their own capabilities. So I decided to spend probably about 3 or 4 months on this, dedicated to very actively pursuing and looking into voiceover on Twitter. Mostly finding auditions, finding work, marketing, connecting, that kind of stuff. And overall, there are some pros and cons. There are, like any other platform, there are some pros and cons. There are some things that I would say are highly beneficial, and there are some things that I would say make it sometimes not worth it or could make it less advantageous than I think it really should be. So one of them, obviously, one of the things is the fact that there are a lot of people posting auditions on the platform. Now, the variety of work is very limited. It's not a wide range of roles that you would be looking for or auditioning for. The majority of the time, I had only seen stuff for visual novels, some independent YouTube cartoons, and small app games. Those are basically all that I had actually seen. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't roles of every kind that's being posted. Hey, we're now opening casting calls for this kind of stuff. But that was the kind of stuff that I had been seeing. Also, some comic dubs, some webcomic fan dubs, visual novel. Well, I mean, I already said visual novel, but like comics, like people actually dubbing over comic, motion comics. Is that what it is? I don't know what the actual like solid set in stone industry term for that kind of stuff is, but that was also something that I did see. So it wasn't that wide of a range, wasn't that wide of variety. However, it was pretty constant. It was pretty regular. You do have to, however, you have to search voiceover, voice acting, video games, anime, cartoon, animation, all that kind of stuff. You have to search all that on YouTube, and then you have to follow every single one of these studios. So if you're looking to get into visual novels, there's a couple of companies that actually, that's what they do. That's their entire thing, is they make visual novels and those kind of point and click or dating games, that kind of stuff. RPGs. And you definitely want to be following them. By following them and making sure that you're notified anytime that they post an audition, you will get that in your feed. And then you want to also follow very active voice actors, because a lot of times they will also share voiceover auditions on their platform as well, especially if it's a friend of theirs that's hosting auditions and they don't really personally fit that. They will actually share it to help it get exposure. That happens a lot. Me personally, I had probably done maybe 30 or 40 auditions and maybe only landed 2 gigs. One of them haven't actually done yet. It's still in production. It's still the details are still being worked out. I don't think the scripts are finalized, and they were gathering funding to do the first, at least the pilot. So I've landed a little bit, but not that much. Auditioned for quite a lot, but didn't land that many roles. Now, is, let's say, 2 out of 40, does that make it not worth the amount of time and effort I put into it? No, not at all. I mean, you're going to be doing far more auditions than you're actually going to be landing the roles anyway, regardless of the platform or regardless of what level your career is at. You're going to be doing that anyway. So that's not really something that makes or breaks the experience or that particular platform as a potential way of making money through voiceover. That is one of the pros and cons. Is there is work, not a lot. You got to really hunt for it. That kind of sums it up. One of the major downsides, however, and I do want to very much stress this because I have noticed a lot of people on the platform, especially new voice actors, new talent, having this problem and it being something that really weighs them down emotionally, is the fact that you see a lot of these studios and a lot of these voice actors, once they get a role, they actually post it on their feed. And so if it's a role that you auditioned for, a couple days later, you haven't heard anything, you don't know how well you did, and all of a sudden someone else gets the role. That is going to be 99% of, if you are filling your following list with these kinds of studios and you're auditioning for all these kind of roles, most of what you're going to see in your feed is going to be that kind of stuff. It's going to be, you didn't get the role, you didn't get the role, you didn't get the role, they got it, they got it, they got it, they got it. And that is going to start to weigh you down. That is going to start to emotionally, it's going to be a little heavy emotionally. It's going to start to kind of discourage you. I'll get to you in a second. And so that is going to be probably the biggest downside. There is work. I wouldn't say it's that much variety. It's very hard to search for that kind of stuff. And sorry, I got someone calling me. There, finally. I'll get back to him in a second. Anyway, so there is work. There's not a lot of variety. You can be successful on there, but you auditioning. So if you're new to this and you're not used to the rejection side of this, if you're not used to the rejecting aspect of voiceover, of constantly not getting the role, I would stay away from Twitter. Normally, I would just say stay away from Twitter anyway. Twitter is basically just the place where people complain mostly. But it is one very useful possible way of marketing and diversifying your audition platforms. It's a wonderful way of doing it. Now, some of the auditions that I had noticed that were posted on Twitter openly for people to find were also posted on Facebook, on a couple of the casting platforms there, casting pages, as well as castingcall.club. So it's not, I didn't see that much on there that I couldn't find mentions to or notifications for on other platforms. There were a few, but there's a lot that was also elsewhere. That was also being able to be found elsewhere. Now, a couple ways that you can be successful on this platform. Number one, make your voiceover, your Twitter page, just dedicated to the things that you want to market. I was going to say the thing, but you can market more than just voiceover. I wouldn't go too crazy. Like, okay, so I wouldn't put your family, like if you go on a vacation trip with your family and all this kind of stuff, and you got your kids, it is nice, it is cute, it is sweet, but you need a different account for that. Also, I don't know why you're posting that on Twitter. That should go to Instagram or Facebook. But you need a specific platform for your creativity. So your creativity stuff, your voiceover, your writing, your art, your acting, your comedy, what have you, your editing, that needs to go to its own Twitter page. And then you need to constantly be updating it. Number two, don't just complain about voiceover on your voiceover platform. You can't just be constantly posting, I didn't get the job, this sucks, the industry's so hard, blah, 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 blah. It's totally fine to do a little bit of that. It's totally fine. But any marketing that you do, any marketing platform that you have needs to reflect the fact that you are staying busy. It needs to reflect the fact that if you're not getting work, you're at least looking for work. And just looking for work does not mean complaining that you didn't get any. Nobody wants to work with someone that is just going to be a constant downer, or someone who's just going to be constantly upset or griping or complaining. Like, let's say they send you auditions, you didn't get it. How do they know that you're not just going to be, talking trash about them because you didn't get the role? If you do have a lot to say about how you feel like you're being treated, or you feel some people are being treated, I would go a little bit more lighthearted. I would go possibly more in the direction of a joke, but still making your point. But then at the same time, again, do not make that the entirety of your feed. Also, don't always be asking for help on Twitter. Just open questions on Twitter. There's a lot of people that do not want to comment on your posts openly because they don't want to, like, let's say you post your demo. Let's say you post your demo on Twitter and you say, hey, can y'all review my demo? And you don't know exactly what's wrong with it. You don't know exactly how bad it might be. A lot of people are going to dodge that because they do not want to openly, actively, publicly post a response to that, just in case it looks like they're just being a jerk. So it's better for you to post your demo. Don't ask for review. Just post your demo. Make sure that all of your information, contact information, is available. And then find people you trust. Ask them before you send it. Ask them if they can review your demo. And then if they say yes, send it to them privately, and they'll send you information. You're going to get a lot more helpful and beneficial information contacting someone privately, either through email, through private message, what have you, than you are going to be posting it on Twitter itself. Also, people are limited to the number of characters that they can have, so it makes typing out a very concise, helpful response a little bit more tricky. So don't just be posting, hey, can you help me? But you should be posting your demos, and you should be updating them regularly. And anytime you change it, post it again, say it was updated. Again, make all your information available. And any project that you're working on, any information that you can find on projects that you have done in the past or anything, also post that online. Make sure that that's available. But ultimately, this is not meant as a voiceover platform, obviously. There's no guarantee that you're going to get any work. There's no guarantee that you're going to get a foot in the door. There's no guarantee that you're going to get auditions. None of that. You just have to go find it. This is mostly just finding another way of communicating with studios, with other voice actors, game makers, independent markets, what have you. That's what it's more about. And you can get more exposure, you can get more experience, you can make great contacts, you can find some possible work, some potential work on this platform. But if you are going to be looking for voiceover work on Twitter, you have to diversify. You cannot just be on Twitter. There's a couple of people that I know that Twitter is the only platform that they have for searching for voiceover or doing voiceover in general. That is not going to work. Your career is not going to get anywhere at all, whatsoever. The only way that you would be getting more and more work is with a really big name or a large resume or a really impressive demo. Meaning, if you had done tons of work and people know who you are, or you have the experience that people want involved in their project, then they would be coming to you. Then they would be messaging you. Then you would see a lot more auditions posting. But if you're just starting out, you're not going to see that. You're not going to get a leg up. You're not going to get an advantage. So you have to make sure that you are on a lot of other platforms, not just Twitter. So, can you get work? Yeah. It's going to take a while, like anything else, and you got to work really, really hard, and you got to do the digging, but you can find auditions, and you can get work. You can get auditions for all kinds of projects. I personally didn't find a variety, a full-on gambit of auditions, but there are enough roles that have been posted for auditioning that pretty much everyone that I know would be able to audition for something at least once a day. It can't be your only platform, and don't let it get you down. You're going to see tons of people getting roles, getting the auditions and the parts that you wanted. Don't let it get you down. It's going to bum you out. Don't let it bum you out. Stay busy. Be happy for the other people that get roles. If they got the role, be happy for them because they auditioned for it and they wanted it too. They got it, you didn't. It's fine. There's going to be other roles. People aren't going to stop making things. Ever. People aren't going to stop making cartoons. They're not going to stop making animes. They're not going to stop making video games, app games, whatever. It's not going to stop. You're going to have years and years more opportunity. It's fine. You're going to land some. You're going to lose a lot. It's totally fine. So, should you be on Twitter for voiceover? Yes. Be careful. Search. Connect. Socially connect with people all the time. Don't bug them, but I think it's totally fine. So, if you're on Twitter and you're looking for voiceover, I wish you all the best. Good luck. And don't let it get you down. That's it. So if you guys liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Totally fine. Subscribe if you're new, bell for notifications, and leave down in the comment section below. Like to see me cover any other topic. Maybe we'll do Discord. Maybe we'll cover Discord at some point. Maybe. We'll see. And yeah, it's going to be it. And until next time, peace.